Hi, I'm Beck from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to be making some of these really cool little cake toppers. We've got quite a few. We've got 5 of them we're going to make today, and you're going to have a lot of fun with this. You're going to need some dowels. You're going to need some double-sided tape. You're also going to need some foamy pads because we're going to make things stick out, and of course you're going to need your cardstock and maybe some stickers. So let's get going. So here we are in Design Space. Once again, we need to upload the files we need to make our cake toppers. So let's go ahead and click on Upload, Upload Image. And the file we want here is Valentine's cake topper. So let's open that. You get a lot of different variations here. So let's save it, select it, bring it onto your canvas. Now we're definitely going to have to change this a little bit, so we're going to ungroup it. So we have a plain cake topper here. We have one that had the word Valentine, and these letters will have to be welded together. And once you've welded them, you're going to change them from a cut to a draw. And I'm going to change the color from black, and I'm going to pick on, say, candy corn. Bring it to the top here. Now you may want to increase the size a little bit. That looks not too bad. Now I am going to group those two together. Now here's the interesting thing, because with a cake topper you want to see it visible from both sides. So now we have this together. We can attach it, but we also want to duplicate it so that we have 2 of them, one on each side. For the plain heart, if you're going to have nothing else on it, no writing, then you can just leave it as is, and you can simply duplicate it from there. So we can have a cake topper that looks like this. Now we have one here with the word love in the center, and we have this on the outside. Now here's the interesting thing. We want these to be one piece because we want to see the word love without worrying about it too much. So we are going to weld this together so it is one piece. And we don't have to worry about attaching it once it's one piece, but we do need to worry about whether we want to duplicate it or not. If we do duplicate it, just a warning, the back side will not fit with the other side. So we are going to leave this one alone as a cake topper all by itself, unless we decide to put a backing in a little later. So we have another one that's pretty plain, and we can put a word on it if we want. We could put the word love. So let's just go over here and let's pick some text. We'll put in the word love. Now this is pretty plain, so let's go over to select a different font, and let's do one that is a single layer and not necessarily cutting. Let's go over to Cricut fonts just to see. We want something that may be writing, so we can click on filter here and select writing and see what we have for writing fonts. Well, here's one, and that's part of Access. You may or may not have that one. That looks pretty good. So we can put the word love here. I am going to change the color of it and we're also going to change it to draw. I always go back to candy corn because you can pick anything you want. Let's see, love here. So let's try and center it. Not too bad. Let's select over both. I'm going to check for centering and horizontally, and perhaps we can now also do it vertically for the alignment. Yes, that looks much better. Okay, select them both again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach it, and because it's two-sided, we are going to duplicate it. So we're getting a lot of really nice little items here. We have another heart here that has all kinds of funky little things going on. We're simply going to duplicate it and do it twice, and then we could add a sticker on it later if we want. On this one, same thing. We'll just duplicate it and we can add our own words. I'm not going to add anything at this point. And then we have this one together like this that you're going to have to place in separately. Now we're going to duplicate both of these, so I am just going to group them and then I'm going to duplicate them, and then they will be on their own as well, so they will go back to back. And that's about all you need to do for your cake toppers. When we go over and we will make them, you are going to need some sort of dowel or stick that comes through the bottom, and then we will put them together. So let's save this, and we're going to call it Valentine Cake Topper. Let's go ahead and make it. You can make a decision on the color of the inks you want to use and the color of the paper when you separate it. So if we go over here to make it, we've got a couple of hearts that are going to be white, and we have a couple that are going to be purple. We have a lot that are going to be red, and a few that bleed over into red. So you can decide if you want these two Valentine ones to be a different color. All you have to do is just move them around on the mat and then paste and put on your paper of a different color down here. These two can be the same. The same can happen here. You can have them on different kinds of paper. Now I see that it's really interesting to know how it sorts things out. This love, we decided we only wanted one, so we could do that on something separate or put it on its own mat. We have these two little jagged ones that we can put together over here. What I'm trying to do here is just put these two together. I can put these top and bottom. I can make them a different color if I so desire, and then push these down. So you can move things around on the mat and get exactly what you want. So we're going to go ahead and make these, and then I'll see you at the demo table. All right, now we're ready to assemble our cake toppers. So a couple of things you're going to need. I use this double-sided tape. This was just, I bought this at the dollar store, and this red tape is just amazing. So I use a double-sided tape. You could use a tape runner such as this Tombow one. I prefer to use this. And then the other thing I'm using here are these little foam pads, and I do believe I bought those at the dollar store as well. So you can just grab some of these. And the other thing I want to have is my picking tool, a pair of scissors, and if you go to the dollar store, even any craft store, what you want are these very small dowels. Now you could cut them, but I have a different way of using mine because my cake toppers are usually pretty big. So these really tiny dowels, I'd say they're probably 1/8 of an inch round. Let's put those to the side. So now we're going to start assembling our cake toppers and different things we can do with them. What I'm going to do is start with this one that says Valentine on it. I'll just push these to the side for now. And I had it printed on with the Cricut. So there's the one side. Now all you have to do with these is I've got a tape runner here and here, and then I put a piece of tape over here, and I'm going to do the same at the top. I'll just cut off a small piece. I put on 2 because I just don't want this to slide anywhere, and then just circle around it and hold it. And this will hold your little cake topper stick right in place without any problems. And then I will take this off. I have a little trash bucket here that I use for all my scrap pieces. Grab this one. Now, the hardest part, of course, is going to be lining everything up. I try to line up the bottom first before I even press anything down, just so that we're lining up on at least one side. Then I can press down and press down. So there we are. That's our first cake topper. Now you could put your own words on these, but these are perfect. They will just fit right in on the cake. So we'll put this one aside over here. Let's work on another one. This one is some hearts, and you'll notice that I got some little areas in here where it didn't cut as well as it should have. Now that can happen quite easily, and you'll see how it tore at the back. Well, I can still use this. So I am not going to stick this down right away. What I want to do is decorate these two pieces, and we're going to decorate them on the side. So we had some smaller hearts, and what I did is I put 3 small foam pieces on the back of each of these, and we're going to do one at the front and one at the back. Let's get rid of that little piece. Just pick these off. And what I'm going to do is just take this and center it pretty well in the center. And I could have written a message on it, but I did not. Slightly off, but that's okay. All right, once again, we're going to line up, and we line up one side first. So we can line it up right at the top before we stick it down. Getting a pretty good line up here. That looks pretty good. Now we'll stick it down, and we can also stick the center down. So there's another cake topper that we've done. So we've got 2 completed so far. These are so cute. Okay, I'm just going to move my tape out of the way here. I'm going to put these off to the side. Let's get rid of our scraps. And there we go. You can add another message here. So here we are, some different ways of doing some cake toppers, and I know you're going to absolutely love them with the pattern and everything that we've done here. So that is all there is to making cake toppers. Well, I hope you had a lot of fun with this. This is going to be so much fun decorating cakes for Valentine's Day. You're absolutely going to love it. This one just had the word love. We had little techniques for putting the dowels in place. This one we put a sticker on it. This one we simply just used foam pads to add an extra heart. You could write a saying on it. This one had just Valentine's written on it. Really cute. And then of course this one is multi-layered. Lots of fun to put together. So I really hope you enjoyed this craft. Until next time, happy crafting.